Oh no. The downtown has been gutted. Every building is empty and available for rent. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Lethe, our City Skylines 2 city, and Economy 2.0 is out. The budget is not budgeting. She is not budgeting. And so what I want to do, we're going to jump right in here. I want to try to get ahead of some of this. We desperately need to get some more low density residential, but I do also want to do some work balancing the budget. From what I'm seeing online, it seems as though you want to start by kind of reducing the price of everything. So like right now, if we look here, education and research is costing us $923,000. We're not able to make up the fees, not able to make up the expenses through fees alone. So let's just look here. Revenue. Citizens and companies pay fees for using the city's services. The fees offset some of the service upkeep costs. And then expenses. Upkeep consists of building, maintenance, and resource costs. The service budget for education and research affects service buildings' efficiency. Efficiency affects the graduation chance of students. Efficiency also affects the city-wide effects of the Technical University, Medical University, Radio Telescope, Geological Research Center, and the Large Hadron Collider. I'm going to reduce our budget to, I think, to start 60. I would love to get it. How much do I need? 58. Oh. All right, we're going to put it to 60%. Okay, that's going to do some damage here. Like if we click on our college, efficiency 51%, and a lot of that's coming from the service budget, right? So it's not as efficient as it once was. We've lost some students. The dropout rate is 3%. And we also have these extensions, which I'm realizing now, like maybe we can't afford some of these extensions while we try to balance this budget. So like right here, what do we have? We have a medical clinic, and it also has the clinic extension wing, additional space for more patients. But we don't need the more patients because we don't need it. So that can go. That can be deleted. Outdoor gym, small playground. And then this also has the other extension, I believe. Ambulance depot. So vehicles in use 0 of 10. So I don't think we need the ambulance depot. Can we just deactivate it? Like what happens if we ambulance depot $3,500 a month? Let's deactivate. Becomes $350 a month. I'm fine with it being $350 a month. That's fine. We deleted the other extension because that just wasn't necessary. This building's beautiful. I love you, 366 Concord Street. Okay. That's great. This high school is at capacity, and so frankly could use an extension wing just to help support how many people are there, but I'm going to hold off on that. Let's go over here. What do we got this? What's going on here? You're full up on students. That's fine. Extension wing, elementary maintenance, playground maintenance, wages, total. Okay. We are now in the positive, just barely, but we are in the positive. We've really reduced that budget for our education. We're still overall pretty happy. I will say, I think that we're going to do one more increase in terms of residential tax rate. And I also think that we are going to do a bit more increase here in industrial. I'm going to put industrial at 20% tax rate because I don't really want to encourage industrial. It might cause an issue there, but I think that kind of puts us back in a much better place financially. We'll see what happens with our budgets now. If we go into our info view, company profitability, our companies are all still pretty profitable. And so as long as they're profitable, the tax rate is not going to be impacting them too much. But if the company profitability falls too low, then they're not able to make as much of an upgrade. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on our industrial profitability here and see what happens. But for the moment, the budget is balanced. We are making a positive amount of money. We have a few things here that are actually producing a surplus, which is awesome. I think what I want to do is try to address the demand for low residential or low density residential by building out this Lake East bit a little bit because we know that we're not going to get any people moving into Grove Crest just for the moment. I mean, it's still got all of the pollution. And I will say too, I think here, if we look at this medical clinic, we're paying all this money for this medical clinic. We only have 15 patients and we're using 0 of 10 vehicles. So I think go ahead and deactivate both of those options. That's perfect. Okay, so they're turned off. We don't need them functioning at the moment. And then I do also want to make one other adjustment here in that I want to remove the zoning from around this high school. Sorry guys, you do have beautiful homes. You do. They're wonderful and I appreciate you trusting me with your home. But you have to go. You have to go. You can't stay here. I don't care where you go. It just can't be here. Thank you for your time. Yeah, we're going to put in a roundabout, 100%. All right, so we have a roundabout over there. Cute, cheeky, love it. Over here, because we can now add additions to things that are separate, a university library, we could build this library like anywhere in the circle, which is crazy. So what I would love to do, which this is going to increase the chance of graduation. The dropout rate here is 17% from the university. And I do want to see us kind of turn that around a bit. So what I want to do here, let's take this high school. Let's just scooch her over a bit further. And let's actually remove the roundabout we just built. Sorry, we're a roundabout. We're going to send this road straight on down. Straight back to here. We will go ahead and just roundabout this back piece, but then let's go ahead and see if we can afford this. The upkeep for the university library is $50,000 a month. Again, we're making allegedly $560 a month. I don't know if that's going to stay, but we're going to try to run with it. Can I fit this in here? Just barely. I can't. If I anarchy it, because that road is really what the problem is. Okay, so now I got this. Oh, that's cool. Now we have a university library. Oh, man. Okay. Okay. I have thoughts. Scoot that to there for now. It's going to look a little crazy. Just for a second. Just for a second. Bring this alleyway along this side here as well. Take the university library and place it just off of the side. Yeah, no, that's what I want to do. It's costing a lot to move it, so I need to be gentle with my movements here. Turn off anarchy, because we don't want that on permanently. I want you to move to here. You're not overlapping anything. You're so not in the way of that. You know, I don't like that as much. Move this back to where we had it. Delete this road. You know what? I messed a good thing up. That's not what we need to do. Leave that where it's at. Turn anarchy back off. And now we should be able to move this, if I turn anarchy back on again, whoops, back to where we had it, which is right here, which I think is a fine place for it. Or, you know what? Actually, let's move this over to here. Keep anarchy on just for the moment, just because it's going to make all this easier. Turn anarchy off now, and I should be able to make this work. Struggling. We are struggling. Delete. Yes. University library. Delete. Yes. Okay. Anarchy is off. I would like to build the university library. I would like for it to be back here. Perfect. Okay. Then I would like to build the university park again. Right here. Anarchy's off. That's great. Then we're going to move the Chirper Stadium. So it's kind of like in between both. Able to be used by the high school, but also able to be used by our university, which just like in general here, the campus has grown and I love to see it. Let's do a touch of path work. Nothing wild. Nothing wild whatsoever. now we've got a better connectivity here, and we were able to add in that library, which I'm happy about. We're still in the positive. People are still overall happy. Let's just double check that real quick. -3 for high taxes, -1 for high noise pollution. But the reliable mail and the abundance of entertainment is really bolstering, I think, some of the negatives. Let's just go back here. Industrial actually went up. With increased taxes, somehow our industrial is performing better than before. Let's remove those two, which is going to help address some of that demand. And then let's go ahead over here. Before we build this out, I have one edit I need to make to all this. I was going to have... I know this is still turned off, and I know technically I'm paying for it. Eventually we're going to get to the subway. I just haven't gotten there yet. I was going to place an elevated metro line over here that was then going to connect into the downtown of the city here. Also, whoa, hold the phone. Love that building too. It's a fantastic building. Oh, great. And do we have like all this zoned out? We do. Okay, so this is zoned. Great. So I was going to have an elevated rail come on through, connect into here, and then somehow connect into our downtown. I think I'm going to change that idea. I don't think I want to do that. What I think I'd rather do, and this was a suggestion a few people have made, is we now have a Lake East train station. We have a Manor Acres train station. We have a Washington Glade train station. We could have another train station over here and have a loop going around, which I think is fantastic. I think that's a great idea. We have this like massive bus depot here, which is great. We've got some businesses filling in here as well, which is awesome. I think the train station goes roundabouts here if possible. So let's grab this rail yard. Oh yeah, it could go right along this road in front of these two bus stops even, which I think is perfect. Let's remove this train line once this cargo line gets through. Now we're making negative again. So somehow now we're down 800. What changed? What shifted here? The service fee, it's how much we charge people, going up to 100. Going up to 100%. Healthcare, I think we need to reduce this as well. We have astronomical healthcare expenses. I think drop that to 50 and then check the budget. We'll see how we go. Yeah, how have we swung so aggressively in the other direction? So we're gonna reduce our healthcare coverage. Police is another big one, and I will say with police being another big one, I'm curious if this is a worthwhile building to have at this point. We have only 2 vehicles in use, and I just don't know if this makes sense. It's $449,000 a month. And I'm just curious if our city is large enough to support something like this. If we were to just power this off for a while, first of all, what would that do to our police coverage? I mean, it would absolutely decimate the police coverage in the downtown. I mean, unbelievably so. Could we sneak in a police station somewhere? I mean, we could right here along Butler Street. What's the coverage look like? Perfect. All right, so we're going to sneak in a much cheaper police station right here. Which looks okay. Coming in at a total of $19,000 a month. I am also going to change Butler Street. We're going to shift the name here from Butler to Bishop, which was a suggestion by Battle Junior Source. Battle Junior Source. Thanks, Battle Junior Source. Battle Junior Source, Butler Street, which actually is going to be, or not Butler, Bishop Street. It's going to be Bishop Ave. We're still negative with that turned off. However, we're in a better position. I think what we probably need to do is just like continue to increase the tax base here. So let's grab this other train station. We've got a buffer. We've got money. It can hold for just a second. Let's go ahead and remove that line there. Let's add in our train station, and then immediately let's shift back to the power and just make sure that we're able to get this power line in here. Go as far along the edge as you can. And frankly, bring it from there to there. Okay. Now we're going to have to make some changes here as well. So go ahead and back those up. And I'm going to say let's go ahead and back this up because there's a better way to connect this in. And it's going to be turning this much earlier than that. So back to our trains. I feel like we've done a lot of trains recently. Hope that's okay, y'all. We've done a lot of trains. So this here is going to need to connect into this section. But this line is now in the way. All right, well, we are going to anarchy this because if I can't bulldoze something that's actively in the way of my map, that's a problem. And we'll bulldoze that one as well. Let's go back to the train lines. Let's send this just a bit further straight, and then from here we'll do this curve. Okay, so now, if I look at my transportation menu, we do now have these two new lines. So this is going to be the R4, and we're just going to call this, since it's a loop, there's no real like terminus station. We're going to call this the R4, let's do R4A, because there's two of these. So we have the R4A, which is, I'm just going to call it Central Loop. And then we have R4B, which is also Central Loop. I think both of these, just to give them a completely different color, let's make them a really bright green, and we'll make one green darker than the other. Very, very Charlie XCX brat. I'm a huge fan. Let's go. Okay. We'll see if anyone uses these. There's only one train on each. That's fine with me. I would also argue that I would be fine with reducing the number of trains on these. So I can't reduce this one. Okay, that's fine. But this is the external line. So this is going to go up to $15. You're leaving the city. It's more expensive to leave the city. And then this one to Penrith as well is going to go up to $15. Again, you're leaving the city. It's going to be a bit more expensive. Sorry, not sorry. The buses, I need to make some changes here. A few of you have actually sent me like pictures of my bus routes and given me suggestions. So, and like mapped out on it. I mean, it looks great. You guys have done just like fantastic job. So I'm going to go in and try to work on that and figure that out in the next few episodes here. I think what we do, I think we say scrap this police headquarters. I think we get rid of it. And I think we do something that I've been meaning to do and I have not. We also get rid of this clinic. Do we have any other clinics around here? No. And frankly, the health services is abysmal. The health care coverage is abysmal. But I think we try to fit in a hospital. Can that fit in here? Not kindly. Not kindly. Okay, so then I think what we do, are there any buses on this road? No. So what we're going to shift around here is we're going to move everything. First, we're going to remove Chester Street. We're going to shift this to here for the moment. Then remove this. Then remove this. Then move this to over here for just a second while we then move the rest of the school all the way over to the edge there, which is fine with me. And then we're going to move this to this little corner. Distance too long. I can't do that. We could put it along this road. put it back along this road. We keep that line of trees, which is nice. It's going to cause an additional intersection. I'm not worried about that. We're going to come right in here, just like so, and replace, I think it was a medium parking lot that we had here. Okay. Let's also turn off basically all of those, and that one, and that one. It's an alleyway. Cross somewhere else. Okay, so, well, no, I guess we need one of these to work. So we'll keep this one on so you can go all the way up and down that street. Whoa. You were so bright. Yeah, why do you light up when I come this far back? Okay, so now we have this new land area here. We're going to redevelop this into a hospital because we definitely need some medical care here. So this is saying it's going to cost us upkeep between 112 and 662 a month. Crap. Can we even afford this thing? I mean, it looks cool. $400,000 a month. Oh my God, I've just made it worse. Here I am thinking like I've made the right decision, but I don't know if I have. If we go to health, and because of the like how crappy the budget is, it's still going to cause issues. Okay. I think this is far too expensive. Sorry guys, we can't afford it. I'm going to go back to what we had. We had a clinic over here. So we do have some coverage, right? We have a clinic, a clinic, a clinic, a clinic. We also have both a crematorium and the cemetery. Cemetery costs $35,000 a month to keep up. The crematorium costs $28,000. If we look at the healthcare, crematorium availability, there's 195 deaths with 55 being handled, and there's still 84% availability in the cemetery. I think we should build another crematorium. We can't have dead bodies piling up. Like that just won't work. we can't do that. Let's just sneak a little crematorium here somewhere. Oh, and we have one over here. Apparently these aren't even working, so let's just get rid of both of those. I've definitely moved those before and it did not keep that save, which is fine. Whatever. Okay. Still down 400,000. Everybody is still happy. So I think we could potentially increase taxation once again for the commercial districts. Bring that up to 18. Bring that up to 18. Yeah. One more tax hike for the people. Sorry, guys. And then let's also just do a little bit of looking at this section here. I would be fine to reduce this to 80%. And transportation, I'm going to reduce to 90%. The police, I know we're going to need police and fire, but they're both going to get a 10% cut for the moment. Education already took a massive cut. So we can't go further than that. There's just no way. And healthcare has already taken a massive cut. We already have garbage down. Water. This is going to make people upset. But we are going to increase the service fee by 10%. And we're also, unfortunately, going to reduce the budget by 10%. How are we looking overall on water availability? We're looking pretty strong, and we're fine on sewage treatment. Power, we are producing 1,153 megawatts, and we're trading 383. We're still not looking great, but we're getting better. We are having a slight impact on the citizen happiness in that we have now have high taxes, we have unreliable healthcare coverage, we have high water fees, and we have high noise pollution. But we are, it looks like for a moment here, turning a profit. So let's refocus our efforts because I've spent all this time jabbering, speaking, talking, whatever the word is I'm looking for. And I've not actually like built anything. So let's get to building here. I think we need a little bit of little bit of development to kind of spur some more growth. Okay, so we've got that there. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. We also have, a post office over here. So this area definitely needs to be developed because we've got infrastructure over here that we're just not tapping into. So keep that at the 90. I could see us maybe curving here to get around this corner because we've got the end of the map. So for now, we're going to just argue that that's where this ends. Send this out here, and then we'll turn this direction and run right in to that road. It's not going to be the greatest neighborhood to live in because you're going to be right next to a very, very loud train station. However, not all houses are made the same. And I just need humans at this point. So let's go. Move on in, people. I like that this is kind of a grid, but it's also not perfect, and that I'm into. We're going to send this to here, and then we're going to go like this. Yep. And then here, there's not going to be any kind of services or anything here, so this is also going to get another road. This area, we have an avenue that connects to the highway and comes down and through and then comes to here, and it just kind of dead ends. I think that that is totally fine. I think we get rid of that extra portion. We get a little curve going. We cut right through here, and we don't even connect up to that. This stays separate. I like that we've got some like tree line. You know what? I don't even know if we need this. I think what we do is we just cap it kind of right here at the end. Give you a little turnaround, but like nothing crazy, but we've got some trees. Okay. Does all this have, I guess it has power and water. I've been watching a lot of people play City Skylines 1 recently. So I'm like, do I got my water? Do I have my power? All right. We desperately need low density housing. Let's just fill in everything here. Don't worry necessarily about that avenue yet. We might in a bit, but for now we'll leave it. We'll even fill this in with some of this lake front housing because you are right against the water. We'll switch that one out as well. And then this can also all be lakefront housing. Beautiful. Okay, let's speed up the simulation here a bit, although somehow we've gone back into the negative by 44,000. Again, like what? 400,000. What is going up in price? Like what is happening? Like I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding why I cut $400,000 of expenses and then you're telling me I need to cut $400,000 more of expenses when we were just positive and nothing fundamentally changed. Like what's going on here, sis? What's your problem? 380 negative. And I already feel like we've tanked the budget as is. We do have some demand for some commercial, for some industrial. And I think the one thing we're not building out, where's my natural resources? The one thing we're not building out is forestry. I could see a world where we prioritize some forestry industry. Right here, we already have a highway connection. We already have farming industry. We have a cargo hub over here as well. So I think what's going to happen, this road is going to come out to about here, and then it's going to curve a bit this direction, a little bit to the southwest or southeast, and actually it's just going to come straight on out. We already have that highway connection, which is really all we need. So I don't think I need to get too crazy with this. Let's go over here to specialized industries. Forestry. That's exactly what we want. Perfect. Okay, we've got even more production in our city. All right, that went down by 10,000, 11,000. Went back up a little bit. So I'm thinking what's happening is we have all these lands that are not developed, and that's going to cause a problem. I can't live this way, so this has to go up to 60. It has to go up to 70%. Like I can't. It just is not going to happen. We're already upset about high taxes as is, everybody still seems to be making money, especially the industrial and the commercial. So I think industrial, boom, 25% tax rate, commercial, 22% tax rate. That's going to really impact unoccupied buildings, availability of jobs, taxes. Commercial demand. The commercial demand is so destroyed that there's not even reasons why they don't want to be here. Unoccupied buildings, availability of jobs, taxes, availability of jobs. They're upset with taxes, but the local demand is strong. So I say we also need to then go in and add some additional industrial. And I think, frankly, as cool as these buildings are, they're unnecessary. We don't need them. And I would rather fill in this space with some industrial usage. Send this straight on out to here, at which point we'll then connect up. And this is just going to be, pretty gridded. I'm not going to complain about it. There's no need to reinvent the wheel with this section. It is just an industrial hub. Perfect. All right, fill all this in with industrial. We've got demand. Fill the demand. I think we're going to tank the demand, but now we've got more industrial. That's great. How much do you cost just to sit there? $2,000 a month? That's not going to change anything, so go for it. All right, we're at $988 still. So that's not like made any significant change there. We have started to fill in pretty decently over here, which is great. So that's a good sign. We could also build a few of these things here. We have the Vertigo Square +3 well being within 750 meters. Everyone seems pretty, I guess this isn't happiness, but we got to increase y'all's well-being a little bit. So what if I were to maybe slide this in somewhere where it doesn't also have to destroy a whole ton? I would love for this to be on a corner, I think. And we have no specialized business buildings over here. So you know what? You're going right there. You're a little big, but I think everyone's going to like having you around. I already see an upgrade. And then this, some well-being increase. Coleridge, we really need this area to have some better well-being. So this is going to go... It can't go over here. It does look like, though, the pollution is going down. If you recall, that pollution was further extended. So it is slowly working. I think this is going to actually replace those houses there. It's going to just kind of be all on its own, just back here. That's fine. I like that. We don't have anything new here to build. Is there anything? Mining area hubs, forestry. If we had 10 of them, we could get +5 industrial efficiency citywide. So you know what that tells me? That tells me we need another industrial place. Frankly, I need more than this, but this will be fine. No, leave it alone. We have 5. That's fine. Any luck? Somehow our monthly balance is even worse than it was. I guess we did increase the costs or how much we're spending on our healthcare services. But man, this is wild. I don't know if we're going to be able to solve this in the immediate. I mean, all around, we have reduced pollution over here. So we've got a few people moving in, and there is, like, this is filling that demand as it sits. I think what we do to ensure that... No, I think we just leave it alone. Leave it be. Like, that can fill in over time. We don't really have much demand for anything at the moment. The taxes are too high, but taxes are going to be a problem for everyone. I would be curious to see if I were just to like place down a few offices, is anybody going to move into them? Maybe have a few offices there as well as a few businesses along that back road. Nothing extravagant, nothing crazy. We also have this square that we could fill out as well. I don't think anyone wants to move in though, which is fine. Population's growing. Everything else is not. We added in this new train station, which we are going to change the name to Grove. What is that? Crest? Yeah, Grove Crest train station. It cost me $46,000 a month to run this train station, and we only have 0 passengers waiting. No one really lives over there yet, but they will. Comfort 50, 6 employees, 1 passenger waiting, 3 lines. Oh no, 3 passengers waiting now. That's great. We've now entered the fall. Also great. 3 passengers waiting. Let's just get a sense of overall line performance here. The R1, 9% usage to Chester, 154, 91 to Penrith. Lake East has 40. These loops have 0. Like, nobody is using these loops right now. So can I just power these off for the moment? Great. So we're going to have these here. We will turn them back on after we do some editing to our bus lines, which might happen in the next episode, might happen in a bit, not sure. And after we have made some changes to, or not even changes, after this area, Grove Crest, is filled out a bit. I think part of the problem is that the pollution here is so great. All around, you know, I just don't know what else to do. Average office profit is now at 0. Offices are making nothing. Company, none. The building is empty and available for rent. 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 So I have no demand for anything. And all of the offices are empty and available for rent. That's what that sign is. Advertise your company here. Oh no. Oh no. The downtown has been gutted. Every building is empty and available for rent. I don't know what to do. So I guess we definitely need to just be like, hey, sorry guys, like we have no, we're making $0 from here. I'll pay you. I will pay you to bring your business here. Taxation, making $2 million. Services, $2 million. So the only reason that this is this way is from the tile upkeep charges. That is the reason that we are in the position we're in, which tells me that I need to figure out a way to get. I feel like I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Snafu moved in, and they're employing a ton of people. Okay. This has brought business back. I'm heavily subsidizing the office at the moment. So that's definitely happening. It's costing me money. Could I just get a little bit? Could we just keep that in the positive? A 1%? That's what happened. That's where all that money went. All that money went because all these companies left. And when all these companies left, there was nothing I could do to solve some of these issues. We still have lots of places for rent, but there is now more of a demand. I hate what I've done here, so I am going to kind of change this up as we prepare to close this out. I'm going to move this to here. We'll move this along this road as well. I like it being there because we can also then take a path. Don't snap to the sides of buildings. We don't need that. I want you to come from here straight along the back. Bam. You connect to 2 already existing crosswalks. This here, I think we remove. I think we remove Lilac Lane as well. I think we reintroduce, I guess this was Chestnut or Chester or something. Reintroduce Chester Street. And then on the back of the elementary school, I think we actually go for a very large parking lot. Ooh, can't fit with that building expansion. Could we do a large? It's not exactly what I wanted though. If I rotated this, you know what, this could even go in there. That would be kind of fun. If we rotated this like along this side, I don't think it's still enough space for a very large. No, very large is very, very large. We could, what do you do? It's a clinic. Lord knows if there's one thing we need, it's a clinic. Ugh. Just like, Cost $500,000 to run this school. The finances here are wild. How much is the clinic? $3,000? It's really not that much. Can you fit over here? No, you have to be fully inside of this pocket. Okay, better question then. Building is empty and available for rent. Building is empty and available for rent. Do I want to just destroy a block of something? What about this? Are you empty? Building is empty and available for rent. 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 Okay, great. So you are going to move across the street to here. There's a major demand for some office. Are you guys empty and available for rent? You are. So all these buildings are going to be turned into office buildings now. That allows me to also come in here and place down the large parking lot, which I think is going to be valuable because we're close to the train station as well. We'll place some small office here just to satisfy that demand and fill in that space. We are going to get rid of this line of trees. I'm telling you, they've made some improvements to the tree brush or the bulldozer, and I'm so pumped about it. That's an adorable little section there. Okay. How are you guys all doing? You do have employees, and not all of you do. Well, you're commercial, which we don't really have a demand for commercial at the moment. But you have employees, which is great. It hasn't solved the tax problem, but we're getting close. We're getting close. We're making 2.8 from taxes alone. Okay, you know what? 3%. Just 3%. It's all I need. And I know we're having issues with commercial as well, so I think we lower the commercial down to 7. Make it 16. Make it 16. We're now in the positive, even if only for a moment. Let's get a sense of how this is impacting everything, because there's a lot of for rent signs for that commercial, but I think we'll soon have people moving in and it'll be great. It will be great. Let's go ahead. I think we don't do anything here except for zone in more office. Way more than we need. Totally fine. It is going to help connect, I think, kind of the high-rise collection we have here. Let this all zone in. Let's see what we get. There's going to be some big guys for sure. We'll let that totally get filled out, and then we'll know kind of what our next step is. We still have ambulance issues. That I don't know how we address right off the bat. So we're just going to have to wait. Well, we're in the positive. Well, we were, and now we're not. We're right on that cusp, it seems like. Funny enough, service upkeep is going further up. And now we just took a hit to taxes. We just took a hit to taxes. Industrial is making record profits. So if that's the case, you get a 30% tax hit. Commercials, okay. Office is doing phenomenal. I wonder if the industrial is doing so well because of the amount of local industry we have. No. It is in some respect, but it's also not in another, because if you look, because the tax rate is so high, a lot of these buildings are empty and available for rent. Okay, so here, 20%. 20% is what that needs to be. That's going to help allow people to move in. None of these buildings have a business in them whatsoever. This industrial area is not what's driving the growth of the city. And you notice nothing moved in here. The buildings that did immediately went empty. So here's what I'm going to do. Check over here. All of you are empty as well. No, we've got one. We've got a pelican grain biofuel. You three are all business. Oh, you know what? We got this as well. This whole block, though, empty. That block, empty. This block, empty. There's almost too much industrial now. I think what we do, I think we remove the industrial from down here. It wasn't a popular place to have the industrial anyway. I know that some people were very upset that I put some industrial over this way. And I think we get rid of it. Few, if any, businesses are actually going to be impacted because most of these places were closed prior to us changing how that's all going to work. None. No, there's one or two active businesses here, but for the most part, these are also all empty. So here, get rid of this whole little neighborhood. Okay, we don't need this post office or this post office. I like the road, but I think it stays empty. Now that might increase our tile upkeep because I've just removed development. So we were just paying for empty land. However, at the moment, we're positive. We've got some more offices, which just look phenomenal. Oh my God, CRI more. Chirpy Tech. Fixed traffic. That little office block is fantastic, if you ask me. The business sector is still really devastated, it appears. Do we want to reduce it further? Or better yet, do we want to encourage... Like, we have no lodging businesses, which is fine. I wouldn't mind encouraging some more food because we have food and we have lumber. All of those are things that we produce. I'm going to leave the plastics and the chemicals and things like that a little bit elevated. Let's do food and lumber related or farming and lumber related businesses get a little bit of a tax cut because we have such an expansive farming and lumber industry in the city. And now I think what we have to do is just kind of chill. We just got to kind of wait. These guys do have some availability, but they do still have housing in them, which is great. Comfortable wealth, modest wealth, modest wealth. Okay, to wrap this up, we are getting a bit of demand for some residential, which is very exciting, some low density. I can't afford to do much, but I can afford to do some. So we're going to place this here. And we're also going to place this here as well to kind of help with that bit of demand that came through. People did build these offices, which is great. And I think while we have the demand for office, give them some smaller offices. I don't like these. No. Get out of town. No. First of all, you're supposed to be tiny office buildings, not high rises. I did not mean high rises. Second of all, that will do. I will actually no. They filled in over here with some. No, well they built buildings and they immediately moved out. Doesn't make any sense, if you ask me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the dead spaces. Whoops. Fill in the dead spaces with some low density office. Nothing crazy. I don't feel like any of these. Oh, no, we do have some business. We do have some active business, which is great. We're seeing some more timber businesses build out, which is awesome. All right. And it looks like we maybe have course corrected a bit with the health. So that's good. That's good. I really like this new little plot we've got here. I mean, she's giving, she's serving, she's doing well. She's right by the train station, which is awesome. Okay. To wrap this up, we're going to slow down because for the moment we're in the positive and I like to see it. I like to see it. We've got great production. Material goods, we got a lot of deficits, so we'll have to figure out if we can offset this some, but we're looking pretty good. I mean, other than the completely decimated commercial business, the commercial industry, which is just frankly ruined. I'm going to just grab a screenshot or two here, folks, just because that's going to be the thumbnail. I love the signage, and I think that's very helpful, like as a player, to understand what is working and what's not. And it looks like we're getting somewhere. To wrap up, we are going to just kind of briefly look over some of our statistics here. We've gone through a whole season, so let's go ahead and change this to 1 year. So there was a drop off in money, but we're still holding pretty well. The taxes, the income from taxes, this is where we had that drop. We're beginning to recover. The expenses have gone back up again for the service upkeep. Actually, you know what? This is Economy 2.0 is right here. This is Economy 2.0. And I think the same is here. We lost all those offices. Now we're figuring out how to rebound. The crime rate was high for a second. It reduced. Education, we're kind of course correcting here a little bit. We are seeing an increase in highly educated, which is great. The post service is doing just remarkable things. Keep going, post service. Public transportation, truck cargo. Can we turn off the car? I don't want train or truck cargo. Buses, okay, doing pretty good. Train passengers looks like it's gone down a bit, but I think we're going to be able to keep working on that and seeing that change up here in a bit. We've seen a rise in citizens. We've seen a rise in households. Age, we're getting some more adults here, and it looks like even with that death wave we initially had, the senior citizens are doing okay. Happiness is taking a bit of a hit, but we are at the highest green. The high taxes and the water fees, like those are not doing great, but we have to adjust here. Number of citizens moved in, population decline. We had a lot move away. We had a huge death spike, but that should help level us out long term. We knew that was coming with this update. And then the average household wealth. If the household wealth is resting in the millions, I'm good. I'm good. These people have got money, honey. They got money. Jobs, huge drop in commercial job availability. I mean, absolutely destroyed. We went from 20,000 commercial jobs back in July of 2026 to now being around 10,000. But there was a moment where we were around, we're halfway down, 2,500 commercial jobs. So I think we're figuring out how to do this. The industrial sector and the office sector, both of those were really decimated for a second. But again, they're beginning to rebound. I might have overshot the taxes there. City workers, okay, great. Unemployment skyrocketed for a moment. We're beginning to address it. We'll see how that goes. Companies, again, just like everything else, massive dip. But we're getting that corrected. We actually lost a lot of trade there for a while. Had to import a lot of stuff, and this shift has come from losing all that industry. So hopefully we can start to see this. It looks like we are starting to peak, move back up again, which is good. The wealth, this has been a challenging one, I think, to understand. But now that I'm seeing about understanding the massive drop off with the increase in the taxes, I think I'm understanding this a bit more. Tourism, kind of holding steady, nothing crazy. Income from tourism, just dropping like flies, just disrespectful, and absolutely no hotel rooms. Looks like all around, we're making money, we're growing the population. Things aren't as terrible as they were. I will say we don't have any available office spaces. The office is absolutely loving what we're providing them. I wouldn't mind making one final adjustment. Bam. Just 1%. Just 1%. Please don't all move out. We have somehow balanced the budget, and I want to keep it that way. We've got way more work to do. We're really struggling from a commercial standpoint, but we will figure that out in the next part here, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.